So what do you do when you have an Amazon gift card, a Books A Million gift card, and a Barnes & Noble gift card? You go on a haul, of course. Okay, technically you don't have to go on a haul, but come on. I mean, where would the fun in not going on a haul be? Oh yeah, welcome to Books, Builds, and More. I'm Travis, and today I'm going to be showing you a very different kind of haul that I'm doing. And not everything is books, but everything is still bookish related. So I hope you hang around and see what I have to offer. And I'm going to start with the purchase I got with the Amazon gift card because it had the smallest balance on it. So I only ordered one book. And it was an Amazon suggestion, and I thought it sounded really neat. It's a nonfiction. It's actually, I think, going to be kind of a memoir, mostly a memoir, I guess, and it's one called We Survived the Night by Julian Brave Noisecat. And I want to read a small excerpt from a very long synopsis, which I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I do want to read one part here that kind of sums up what the book I think is going to be about. But Noisecat is actually an Academy Award nominee for a documentary he made called Sugarcane. But down here, okay, so about this book. Told in the style of a coyote story, a legend about the trickster forefather of Noisecat's people, who was revered for his wit and mocked for his tendency to self-destruct. We Survive the Night brings a traditional art form nearly annihilated by colonization back to life. Through a dazzling blend of history and mythology, memoir, and reportage, Noisecat grapples with the erasure of North America's first peoples and the trauma that cascades across generations while illuminating the vital indigenous culture, environmental, and political movements shaping the future. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a really great read once I get around to it. So, yeah, a bit of a memoir, but an indigenous memoir, and that's something I think is going to be incredibly interesting to read about. Okay, next I'm going to cover my trip to Books A Million, and these next couple of books are books that I actually already kind of presented in a previous video. It's based on the Jurassic Reading Challenge I'm doing this year. So I got The Scarlet Pimpernel by Baroness Anushka Orczy, and The Call of Cthulhu and Other Stories by H.P. Lovecraft. Both of these, yeah, I went specifically to look, not for these specific books. I just saw them when I got to the store, so that, because this one is supposed to be cover the month where we're supposed to read something with mistaken identity, I think is in April, and I think August or September, I'm going to have to recheck my list. I've got it written down. But this one is supposed to be based on a mythical creature, which is one of the criteria for the month of the challenge. But yeah, I've already presented these, but I wanted to show them again because they're part of this haul. While I was in the classics section, I picked up two more books, the first of which is actually a book club recommendation for the month of February. They are doing a Queen of Hearts theme where they have chosen, the club's pick is, of course, Alice in Wonderland, or this one, The Adventures of Alice in Wonderland. But this is a two-for-oneer because it contains The Adventures of Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. I'll probably go ahead and read the whole thing just to knock it out. But the club's personal pick we're supposed to do, along with this one, is to read something with a strong or romanticized female character. Hence the Queen of Hearts theme for February, but that's supposed to be also, Valentine's Day themed. And I was actually going to check this out at the local library, but because my local library is pathetic and it has absolutely very little in the way of selections, I was kind of forced to pick this up, but I got it at a pretty good price, $5.97, and I kind of like this edition. It's pretty cool. Since I still had a pretty hefty balance on the card and I was still standing in the classics section, something occurred to me while I was standing there. Brian the-Crustic from the Crusty Codex, I'll link his channel below, by the way, and please go check him out. He's one of my top booktubers that I watch. I love his commentary. But he and I had a short discussion. When I came back to the platform back in December, I did my first official video coming back was a book tag called the Bookish Favorites tag. And one of the prompts in that tag was asking about what kind of book would you want to reread or go buy for fun. And I mentioned two books, but one in particular, I said Dante's epic poem, The Divine Comedy. And he and I, Brian, the-Crustic, had a kind of discussion, a short discussion about how we both kind of enjoyed the book, and our favorite part were Purgatorio from the poem. So you know where this is going. Of course, I picked up the whole thing, the entire poem by Dante, The Divine Comedy, because I have always wanted to reread this. It's one of my favorites in classic literature. I loved this the first time I read it. And this was actually the thing that got me appreciative of poetry, to be honest with you. But yeah, I thought, why not? Since I'm here, it's a fun haul. I might as well just pick one up for fun. But of course, I am going to reread it. Don't know when yet. But I got this really nice Penguin Classic edition too. That's pretty cool. After I finally pried myself out of the classics aisle, I took a stroll over to the bargain price section and came across a couple of books that I thought were pretty interesting. That kind of caught my eye. And this first one is a nonfiction, and I think pretty much a memoir as well, and it's called Pig Latin, a seriously funny true story of a former police officer by Eric Tansey and with Nick Palmiciano. So, yeah, I thought the premise of this was pretty neat. Just a short little thing here. From cop turned comic, Eric Tansey, a hilarious and humanizing portrait of law enforcement for fans of Walk the Blue Line and You Can't Make This Stuff Up. Neither of which I've really heard before, but I'll take their word for it. But reading on down, while I was sitting there in the store reading down through this, he's also supposed to be like a former Army Scout and Special Operations military veteran, and then joined the police force after that. So, and it's supposed to be about some of his wildest cases, and true story, like basically a memoir. So, yeah, this might be something worthy of a good laugh or something. If it is seriously funny, we're just gonna have to wait and see. I did manage to pick up a thriller as well from the bargain price section of Books A Million, and this one is called Blood in the Cut by Alejandro Nodarce. And it's supposed to be about a guy who gets out of prison and to start a new life, but as soon as he goes back home, he apparently becomes embroiled in some schemes that his father is cooking up. And quite literally, if I'm understanding the synopsis, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I thought it sounded like it might be a pretty promising premise, and this cover looks pretty cool. Not that I bought the book for the cover, but maybe it helped a little bit. I don't know. Now we come to Barnes & Noble. And if you can take the shock, I got no books from Barnes & Noble. I got 2 jigsaw puzzles, but they are bookish related. And this first one I'm really super excited about to build at some point. And it's from the Anderson Design Group. And it's a 1,000-piece literary classics puzzle. Look at this. I think if you want to pause the video to look at this and look through all the different covers on her, yeah, I like Sherlock Holmes, Alice in Wonderland, which The Great Gatsby, Frankenstein, Anne of Green Gables. I need my glasses. I'll just put them over there. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Dracula, Moby Dick, The Wizard of Oz, just all kinds here. And it also comes with, I've already taken this out, it comes with this poster that looks just like it. So, again, if you want to pause the video to kind of look through and just get a gander at all the neat titles, try to get the glare off of it there. I just don't like this section right here. So if I wanted to, I'm probably not going to hang this anyway. I'm going to frame the puzzle once I put it together, but I'm not going to probably hang this because, first of all, it's creased, and I'd probably want to trim this whole section off. But yeah, I think this looks like a really, really neat puzzle because of just the artwork on it. So yeah, that's one reason why I love putting puzzles together, is just for the artwork. Plus, it's going to be a neat addition to something else I can hang around my house because my walls are actually quite bare. I saved this one specifically for last because I'm not sure how it's going to be received. I still can't believe I really picked it up myself, but I couldn't resist. It's a Ravensburger, which I love the artwork that Ravensburger produces, and they've been pretty big company since 1891. But this is actually a puzzle from part of Dean McAdams's Classic Tales. And this is a Look Out Little Pigs, based on the original fairy tale, The Three Little Pigs. And if you want, again, if you want to pause and kind of take it in and look at this cover and just kind of take a gander there and kind of look through it and see where you've got the three different little pigs, you know, and then there's the big bad wolf in this big, like, obnoxious wind contraption there. So yeah, I think it's going to be 1,000 pieces, and it's going to be another challenging. But like I said, I like the artwork, and this is also, like I said, part of a series because you have others. You have like Hansel and Gretel, Beware. Goldilocks Gets Caught, based on Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Alice in Wonderland. Again, it must be Alice in Wonderland month coming up. So most everyone is mad. It looks like the Cheshire Cat and a couple of other characters there. Lions, Tigers, and Bears, Oh My, from The Wizard of Oz, of course. Red Riding Hood, and of course this one, the Look Out Little Pigs. I thought this one was the most whimsical. I like this one, but if I wanted to go through, I'm probably not going to do this whole series. I mean, it might be nice, you know, collect one, hang it in the house. But if I got any of the others, I might get that Goldilocks one because that one looks pretty whimsical. And maybe the Wizard of Oz one. I don't know yet. You know, I just now noticed this. Oh man, I should have named this video Pages, Puzzles, and Pigs. So yeah, that's all I've got for this haul, such as it was. Let me know what you think of any of these reads, either of the puzzles, or this haul in general, you know. And if you've stuck with me this long, I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video.